Hey everybody, I'd like you to thank this video sponsor, Niggas. Can't live with them, can't live without them. Get you one today. Hey guys, I had to just mess with y'all. Poke a little fun. We gotta have some fun sometimes, and we can't just be on the channel just like, we gotta have a little. It's gotta keep things a little fresh. Sometimes you don't know what's popping up. Okay, so you gotta be on your toes. Because whenever you least expect it, something traumatic could happen, and you can find yourself just laughing for no fucking reason. So I'm saying all that to you guys to say this. Please, please, play, pay close attention to the channel and watch for changes. All right, I'm done fucking with y'all. Look, hey, if you laughed, I need a comment down below, please. If you laughed or you wasn't expecting it, I definitely need a comment. Let me know how you feel about it. Like, did I get you in trouble? Were you in class and you were sitting there, you like, this nigga here? Was you out on a date or something with a chick and you was like, this nigga funny? This nigga funny. Let me know how you feel. But anywho, look, we're finna have a conversation about a topic that I've already discussed. But I need to make sure we're understanding this because I don't think enough people get it. Okay? Lonzo has done his job. Okay? People are complaining about scoring and all this other shit. Look, this is not what Lonzo is. If he was, he would have already shown it and been showing it. Now, it doesn't mean he can't show it, but that's not what you need him to do. There's a bit of scoring that he needs. There's a threshold. But there's not well, he got to go drop 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 points a night. He got to go do that. He ain't carrying this weight on the team. That ain't how that shit go. Lonzo has done enough. Let me explain to you why. First of all, let's establish what he is. Because I feel like the community at large has one perception of what they think or want him to be because he was a number 2 pick. And he's been compared to his other contemporaries. And that's not what he actually is. And it's why people's assessment of him is always incorrect. Sorry about that. Let me turn off my car. So look, people, he's not a scorer. He doesn't need to score. What his threshold needs to be is somewhere between 12 to 16 points per game. And he just needs to do one thing efficiently. He checks that box. You know what that is? 3-point shooting. As long as he can do that and he can put up that threshold, he's fine. Now, there's a reason for this, okay? First of all, asking a player to facilitate, set the offense, defend at the highest level, rebound, and score, and be the best shooter on the team that isn't your star is a lot, okay? You can't expect one player to do all that. Hell, Bron can't do all of that. And he's considered the best all-around player ever. He was always a guy that go get you 25 to 27 points a game, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. That's like his career average. It's like 25, 7, and 7 or something like that. Hell, KD is 20, 25 or 27. Yeah, he's 27, 7, and 5. Okay? That should tell you something. So that's what Lonzo is. Okay? He's not a guy that needs to put up these guarding numbers. He's a defender. He's the best defender probably at the point guard position of his generation next to Ben Simmons. And what he does is he's an anti-meta player. The meta game is such that right now, and if you've never heard the term meta game, let me go ahead and define it. First of all, I'm an avid video gamer. I played card games too, things from Pokemon to Yu-Gi-Oh! I played all kinds of fighting games, which is my thing. Tekken, Super Smash Brothers, Marvel vs. Capcom, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Guilty Gear, You name it, I probably touched it at some point. But there's a term called metagame. What is that? It's basically the fundamental principles or the things or the environment in which the game is played. There's a tier list and a ranking list, usually in most fighting games, of characters. You have like God or S tier, A, B, C, whatever on down. The best characters are played at the highest level in tournaments, and they're considered usually the go-to picks. And so those are the ones that see the most play. Even if we're talking like decks from like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, they got like metagame and anti-meta decks and stuff like that. When I talk about Zoe being anti-meta, he's that. He's a counter to the thing that's being ran and played right now. What do I mean by that? Okay, championships or winning teams have usually a top guard or top wings. Okay? Very rarely do you have like a contending or championship level team where it's like, okay, we got a center and they're the dominant force. You might say, well, the Lakers have AD. AD is a power forward. He's not a center. Okay? By that alone, he's a wing because he plays on the wing, or he's supposed to. That's the 3 and the 4 spot. You might say, well, no, I view it as the 2 and the 3. Whatever. I'm not going to go there with you. But the point is, that's the meta. That's what wins. Lonzo is a shutdown point guard who beats or defends against those positions pretty well. Now, AD, he can't defend AD. There's very few power forwards he can actually defend, but the 1 through 3, for sure. And the point guard thing, especially because they're expected to score nowadays. So why is he anti-meta? I could put Lonzo out here and say, shut down that guy. Shut down that guy. Lock him up at the point guard position, or the 2 and the 3, and he'll go out there, he'll do it most nights. So he shuts down the main thing that other teams are looking for. If you're a team like Atlanta and your offense is primarily coming off of Trae Young and what he can do, having Lonzo be out there to make this guy like, okay, Trae could probably go put up 30 a night. And probably do it on like 12 or 16 shooting. But he can go put up 30 a night on Lonzo, but it's going to be like 12 of 25, 12 of 29. You might be like, well, 12 of 25 ain't bad. True. But if you got to take more shots to get it, that takes away shots from others. And if you're shooting them at a worse percentage, like let's say if it's 12 of 29, that means you missed 17 shots. That's 17 shots that could have maybe went somewhere else that could have been more efficient. And if we put in all the shots on you, that means you're a lot easier to duel or to beat. So if he's going to go put up that and he's going to miss those shots, which makes his team less efficient or less good, that helps you. So Zoe is going to do that. Okay, he's countering the guards or the scorers on the wings and stuff at the highest level so that they can't have the same normal productive output that they would get. That's number one. Number two, I want to talk about something that's really not being discussed, and I feel like there's two things I really need to talk about with this, but let's get on the first one. Any of you guys been on Twitter recently? Any of you watched an NBA game of the Bulls? There was a stat that was being shown that Zach LaVine and DeRozan are scoring like I think 7 and 8 points in the fourth quarter alone, respectively. And I think it's either they were doing it efficiently too, by the way, and I don't think they were having many turnovers too. And it might have been career marks for both of them, and it might be amongst the best in the league. But the point is, they're putting up 7 to 8 points, well, 7 and 8 respectively, on efficiency in the fourth quarter where it matters most. Okay, this team is a fourth quarter team. When push gets to shove, they book it. And so, why do you think they're having is productivity. Zach has never had this in his career, but he's been on bad teams. DeRozan has been on good teams. He's made the Eastern Conference Finals a few times, if I'm not mistaken, and he made the second round several times. He's been just solid. He's been good. And DeRozan has never done this. I mean, he's won games, don't get me wrong. Like, he tore up the Pelicans every time they played. He was clutch. But he's not been this dude that's like, give me the ball, and he, like, every time he takes a shot, you expect it to go in the fourth quarter. Like, legitimately. Why are these guys able to do this? It's because of Zoe. What do you mean? Zoe's not the one scoring the buckets. What Zoe does is he takes all of the extra energy and stuff that they would normally have to do for the game and limits that so they have more of it for the late game. He carries them in the sense he's limiting the opposing guard, which puts them in better position to win. And he's giving them easier shots. If I give you the ball off a pin down, all you got to do is put the ball up and all. Instead, you got to dribble the ball up the court, give it to the next guy, go into position, come run back and get it off the pin down, and then have to go into your shot. Go down the court, get where you need to be, run it, catch it, shoot. Simple. Caruso's helping in that vein too. So to some degree this applies, but there's a little distinct differences. For instance, Alonzo being a better three-point shooter, vastly better. And you might be like, well, Caruso shot better than him last year. Caruso also had better help. Caruso also does this on less volume. 37-38, well, now currently 40-41% on like 6-7 attempts a game is way better than 40% on like 2. Just saying. So Lonzo is facilitating the energy that they have to gain an excess to actually go out here and do this. Last year, to my point, Zach had to do everything. Defense, which he didn't do, rebounding, passing, scoring, setting up the offense. He didn't have it in the fourth quarter. Go ask any Bulls fans. Hell, if you go watch or listen to any game, Stacey King will mention or remark on how much his plate was. And now, he don't have that responsibility. So when he gets the ball on the floor, even if they miss a shot and they give it to Lonzo, he sets it up. All right, this is what we're running. They run it, gets the ball to where it needs to go, they score. Sit there, size them up, okay. Jab step if I need to. Take a step back, shot. They might be like, well, he could do that anytime. Well, if that was the case, he would have done that prior to Zoe being here. And DeRozan would have done the same thing too his entire career. He's got a much longer career record, and he's been on good teams. So, and he's had Kyle Lowry as a point guard. You would think he would be able to put up those kind of numbers. Hadn't happened. Lonzo Ball effect. Okay? So, at the end of the day, he's doing or supporting the team and value in places that most people don't quantify because they just look at the raw stats. He's putting up 12 or 13, 5, and like 4. And you'll say, okay, those are role player stats. And I would say, okay. I don't have an issue with those being role player stats. He only needs to average 12 to 16 a game anyway to contribute. You just need him to be an elite shooter, which he is, and you just need him to play the game the right way, play defense, and conserve his sake. Hey, what's going on? That's my coworker walking by. But that's all you really need him to do. I mean, it's not like you need him to go out here and dominate the game on offense by scoring. He don't need to do that. And so because he's helping and assisting and taking a bulk of the unnecessary responsibilities for the others, they have energy to do what they do best. And that's why you'll see scoring efficiency in places you didn't see it in the previous years. DeRozan is shooting, I think, 37% from 3. Well, wait a minute, Jay Strokes. Okay, he shot 25% last year. He had Kyle Lowry. You know, he's still winning good three-point shot. It's only 8 games. This is a small sample size. I agree. But even in the small sample sizes, we could go take the small sample sizes from those other years. He wasn't shooting it as good ever. Nor at the rate. He's doing a phenomenal job shooting threes. He's almost becoming a dependable knockdown shooter. Which, again, some things we just don't get to see or acknowledge or attribute some of this to Zoe, because guess what? You look at the 12 points, the six rebounds, 5 assists, and he ain't doing shit. If I'm causing the other person to shoot an inefficient amount, again, opposing teams' players guarded by Zoe are shooting 26% on the season. Think about this. If you take 100 shots, that's 26 shots that you're going to make. Is that a good player? Is that somebody that should be in the NBA? Probably not. But Lonzo is doing this to elite all-star level threats. So with me saying all of this, he is supporting the team in another way. Supporting my defensive point. But let's talk about defense, because that's the other thing I wanted to touch on. Vooch, if I'm not mistaken, is number 2 in defensive rating for the league. Now, wait a minute. Before you guys come for my neck, I know I don't really have much neck, but it's still there. It's a pretty sizable neck. Okay. Guess what? I know he's a shitty one-on-one defender. I've told you this. I got videos on my channel telling people what was going to be up with his defense, okay? I've complained about it in post-game analysis. But here's the thing that you guys got to remember. He is getting credit for Lonzo's work. How the fuck is he getting credit? Okay, think about this. Do you really think Vooch can defend most of these guys? No. What's happening is pick and roll, Zoe fights over the screen. They have to take a bad shot, and he got Vooch on him and maybe Zoe from the side or from behind him, putting his hand in the way of the shot, affecting the trajectory. Makes Vooch look like a savant defensively. That's the work of Zoe. Without Zoe or Caruso being there to do that, no go. He is supporting the team defensively and conserving the energy of your scoring threats to be elite when it matters. That's why they're 6-2. So when we have these discussions, Lonzo is not who a lot of these people think he is. He's not supposed to be this guy that puts up these gaudy stat lines. Nor should you be looking for him to do so. You should expect a crisp 12 to 16 a game on elite three-point shooting. And I will say this. I would like for him to bump up his overall field goal efficiency. If he's at 44%, I can't ask for more. He's doing everything I need him to do. Even without the distributing and getting the actual assist. The hockey assist is helping because of the efficiency. Without him on the court, people aren't necessarily pushing the ball up where it needs to be. You push the ball up, Zach is in transition, got it. I might got 2 guys to go, dribble, go around, dunk. Efficiency. Versus nobody's looking up, and Stacey King talked about this in the last game. I would like to see you guys advance the ball more. When Lonzo's in, as soon as he gets the ball, his head is up. Pace, efficiency, effectiveness. All of this stuff matters. That's what Zoe is giving you. So even if it doesn't show up in a stat line, which is what they say he affects the game in many ways, he's giving you other stuff because it's supporting everybody else. Vooch being a better defender statistically because Lonzo is taking off the burden of the work, along with everybody else that he's supporting. Which is he's part of the reason their defense is so high, is so good. His activity on defense, him and Caruso. And by the way, having Caruso back there with him is an additional boom because there are certain matchups you could put Caruso on and save Lonzo, and Lonzo could do the other thing. He can quarterback the defense off ball. He'll keep up with this guy, but he'll make the correct, hey, let me go and help this guy on defense. Let me help with the trap. We've seen that, which helps, okay? Smart, intelligent player, like that's what he is. He don't need to put up gaudy assist numbers. He don't need to put up gaudy scoring numbers. He just needs to give you enough support and take care of most of the bulk of the defensive stuff at the start because he's going to take out, he's dealing with the meta. He's literally countering what you want to do. You go put him on Trae Young. What is Trae Young going to do? You put him on Ja Morant. Ja Morant, even in preseason, was getting clamped. But even before then, on New Orleans, he was getting clamped. He was struggling. I think Trae had one good shooting game against Zoe, and he just got hot. Other than that, Zoe's been good on him. Even Steph has had to pass off the ball to get off Zoe because Zoe is a monster defensively. That length, that height, All of that stuff works in tandem. This is why I like Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is good for the same reason defensively, but different reasons too. But it's really, truly an awe to behold. But people, we got to stop having these conversations with people talking about his scoring. If he was going to be a scorer, he would have done that. Could he do it in the future? Sure. But right now, he's 24 years old. Most of his development years are behind him. He really has this year and next year. That's it. And now you're in your prime. And so, when we sit here and we look at Trae Young putting up 30 points, well, Trae Young was always a scorer. Hell, he put up like 29 in college. Zoe put up what, 14? I'm just saying. If these guys weren't putting it up in college like that, I don't expect them to do it here in the league. But you don't need Lonzo to do that anyway. Who was his comp? Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd averaged like 12 or 13 points for his career, maybe 14. But he was right there. You know, Josh Stockton, the same thing. You know, Magic Johnson, he put up 19, but Magic was also like 6'10", 6'9". Okay, he didn't have a necessary jumper, but he was right there at the rim. So, what the hell? It's not like, okay, you know, he was just he went out there giving it to people like Kyrie would, or say James Harden, or Steph Curry, different player. Just saying. And so stop arguing with people that want to talk about his scoring. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Just contribute enough on the offensive night so that, okay, you can provide some space, and you're enough of a scoring threat that you can put up a decent amount of points and you can help your team. If he puts up 12 and 16 a night, great. If he has a night where he gives you 17 or more, that's bonus. But he's giving you so much more. He's an elite rebounder as a point guard. They don't average 5 rebounds. They average like 2 or 3, maybe 4. He's giving you 5 or 6. Some nights more than that. He gets steals. He blocks shots. I think he's averaging 2 blocks and 2 steals in 1 block. Like, come on, man. What are we really doing? We gonna talk hoops? Like, he doesn't have to be this guy that sits up here and puts up all these points, because he's gonna be the guy to shut them down. And he allows your bigger guns, the more effective shooters who need the ball to shoot, to get the ball to shoot and to do their thing and have more energy when it matters, when it's crunch time. Who does Trae have when it's crunch time to let him just roam off the ball and set up guys? Steph got Draymond. When Nurkic is healthy, Dame got Nurkic. Everybody needs help. Help ain't always in the form of buckets. Help is in other things. Most of these guys, if you're a scorer, you want the ball to score. So let them cook. But that's all I got. I actually have more, but that's all I'm giving because I gotta go to work. I'm already at the job, so I'll catch y'all later. Peace.